Welcome back to Devil's Diary TV. Let the story begin. Have you ever wondered what lurks beneath the bustling city streets? Picture this: a band of modern-day adventurers, each with a thirst for the unknown. We're not your typical explorers, no, we're urban explorers drawn to the forgotten corners of the cityscape, led by yours truly, Josh. We've seen it all, from deserted factories with paint peeling off the walls, to towering buildings swallowed by nature, their once gleaming facades now covered in a shroud of ivy. But nothing, and I mean nothing, gets our hearts racing like the intricate labyrinth of abandoned subway tunnels beneath the city. Recently, we stumbled upon a long-forgotten subway tunnel, one that's been hidden from the eyes of the world for so long it's almost as if it's been erased from existence. A subterranean relic, untouched, unexplored, holding secrets of the past. Little did we know this expedition would be unlike any other we've ever undertaken. Descending into the forgotten subway was like stepping into a time capsule. Josh's voice echoed through the eerie silence, a chilling reminder of the adventure that lay ahead. The cold, damp air of the underground tunnels seeped into their bones, a stark contrast to the bustling city above. Everything was still, he recalls, his voice a low, haunted whisper. The silence was so profound it was almost deafening. It's strange, you know, expecting the rumble of a train that will never come. The echo of their footsteps against the concrete was the only sound that filled the void, a constant reminder of their intrusion into this forgotten world. As they ventured deeper into the darkness, the remnants of a time long past began to emerge from the shadows. The tunnels were lined with old station signs, each bearing the name of a destination that no longer exists, Josh continued. The rusted metal and chipped paint spoke of decades of neglect, their stories lost in the passage of time. Every corner we turned, every corridor we walked down was like flipping through the pages of a history book. His voice wavered, a hint of fear creeping into his tone. But this was no ordinary history. This was a history shrouded in darkness, in mystery. The further they delved, the more apparent it became that they were not alone. There was a certain heaviness in the air, Josh admitted, a sense of unease that settled deep within us. It was as if the walls themselves were watching us, waiting. They came across artifacts from another era, personal items left behind, a broken pocket watch, a woman's shoe, a child's toy. Each item a silent testament to the lives that once intersected with these tunnels. Every step we took, every breath we drew felt like a violation of a sacred silence, Josh confessed. A silence that was not meant to be broken, a silence that held secrets better left undisturbed. We should have turned back then, he admits, a tremor of regret in his voice, but curiosity is a powerful thing. The words hung heavy in the air, a chilling prelude to the horrors that awaited them in the depths of the forgotten subway. It was in the heart of the subway that we first noticed something was off. As we ventured deeper into the labyrinthine tunnels, we stumbled upon a sight that stopped us in our tracks. An old, dilapidated train car, seemingly untouched by time. It sat there, a silent testament to a bygone era, its rusted exterior a stark contrast to the modern world above. Approaching the relic with a mix of awe and trepidation, we noticed the doors hanging ajar, an invitation to the past we couldn't resist. Inside, we found a tableau of abandonment. Personal belongings were scattered about, discarded hats, forgotten umbrellas, and worn-out suitcases. They lay there as if their owners had left in a hurry, leaving behind fragments of their lives. The air grew colder as we sifted through the remnants, each object a silent whisper of its owner's story. A child's toy, a woman's locket, a man's spectacles. Each item seemed to echo the rush of a day that never ended, of a journey abruptly halted. The silence of our exploration was suddenly shattered as a spectral train whistle echoed throughout the tunnels. The sound was eerie, a mournful cry from the past that seemed to resonate with the very walls of the subway. It was a chilling melody, a symphony of lost souls that seemed to reverberate through our very bones. Our blood ran cold as we realized the implications. This was not merely an abandoned train car, it was a relic of a forgotten tragedy, a monument to the restless spirits of those who had perished in a time long past. The spectral whistle was their cry, their plea for peace, their demand for justice. The echo of the whistle slowly faded, leaving behind a silence more profound than before. We stood there, rooted to the spot, our hearts pounding in our chests. The realization hit us like a freight train. We were not alone down there. The subway was a haunted house, a subterranean world teeming with the unseen. We were not alone down there. The subway was not abandoned, it was haunted. The words hung in the air, as heavy as the dampness that seeped into our bones. We were in the belly of the beast, a subterranean labyrinth filled with echoes of past tragedies. The spirits of the subway were not silent, they were restless, desperate to tell their stories. Our torches flickered as spectral figures darted in the shadows, elusive as whispers. They were there, and then they weren't. Fleeting apparitions that filled the dank air with a chill that bit into our souls. It was like they were playing with us, a game of hide and seek in the dark. The silence was broken by disembodied voices whispering their final goodbyes. The eerie lullaby of the lost ones painted a picture of their untimely demise. Each voice was a tale of horror, a thread in the tapestry of the subway's haunted history. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, as if they were trying to reach out to us, pleading for us to bear witness to their spectral existence. Then came the phantom train. The sound of it was deafening, a thunderous roar that filled the tunnels. It was like a ghostly echo of the past, a spectral locomotive racing down the tracks that hadn't seen a train in decades. The ground beneath us trembled, the air around us filled with the metallic scent of rusted iron and the electrifying rush of phantom steam. We could almost see it, a spectral vision of a bygone era, a ghostly apparition hurtling through the darkness. The subway was not just a forgotten relic of the city's past, it was a purgatory for lost souls. Each spectral encounter was a chilling reminder of the tragedies that had unfolded in the depths of the tunnels. We were not just urban explorers anymore, we were unwilling guests in a spectral theater of horrors. We were trapped in a nightmare, our exit lost in a maze of darkness. The realization hit us like a cold slap, sending shivers down our spines. The spirits of the subway had claimed us, drawing us deeper into their haunting world. We had to escape, but the spirits had other plans. The words tumbled out, shrouded in a cloak of dread and fear. We were trapped in a subterranean nightmare, miles beneath the city's heartbeat, chased by the wrath of vengeful specters. Shadows danced on the grimy tunnel walls as we darted through the labyrinthine maze. The echoes of our panicked breaths were drowned out by the eerie cries of the unseen. Each corner turned, each step taken, was a gamble against the spectral roulette wheel. Our flashlight beams flickered across the moss-covered tiles, desperately searching for an exit. But the tunnels seemed to twist and turn in a cruel mockery of our plight, leading us deeper into the cold abyss. Then, without warning, one of our own was taken. A scream echoed through the tunnels, a chilling symphony of terror that ended as abruptly as it had begun. We turned, our flashlights illuminating the spot where our friend once stood. Now there was only darkness. We mourned, but there was no time for tears. We had to press on, driven by survival, haunted by the memory of our fallen comrade. The spirits were relentless, their spectral cries echoing our own fears. After what felt like an eternity, we found it, a glimmer of hope in the form of an exit. We stumbled towards it, the spirits wailing in futile protest. We emerged into the night, gasping for breath, our hearts pounding with a mixture of relief and sorrow. We escaped, but at a terrible cost. We were forever changed by that night. The echoes of terror still linger in our dreams. Nightmares filled with the relentless spirits of the forgotten torment us. There's a weight, a guilt that's settled into our bones. It's a constant reminder of the friend we lost in those haunted tunnels. We carry that loss with us, a heavy burden that never eases. But what haunts me the most is the question, what happened to our friend who was left behind? For more horror stories from the Devil's Diary TV, click here to watch now. Like, comment, and subscribe before it's too late for you too.